Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly, and I got something here that's from Tinker Force, and some of you may recognize the setup, sort of setup. Just got this in Saturday. Today's Sunday. I'm recording this on Sunday, which who knows when I'll upload it. Today's the 14th, so I got it the 13th December. But what it is a tray that is 3D printed, and then this has kind of a corkish feel to it. And they've got little rubber feet, so depending on what surface you put it on. They have multiple colors that it can be printed in. Of course, it looks more bluish, but it's actually purple. And it has different things. This is what they call the Lefty tray, which Lefty EDC, Kevin, Devo Knives, he helped design this particular one along with this piece. And of course, for this big piece here to fit, you need to get his tray because it has the bigger cutout. If not, the items that they have is another 3 things where you can choose other things, and it be individual ones like this. Which, as you can see, if you decide to do just different ones like that, you can still do that. You might just have a little bit of a gap between them. So that is something you can still do even with his tray. But I chose, of course, this part. This was the main selling point to me. And cup that I'm going to put who knows what in. This, I think they call it like a wipe for like your alcohol swabs. If you get the ones that are pre-done, you can put in. You can use them for whatever you want to use them for. But my big thing was this piece. I absolutely love the idea of this because, number one, he designed it. See, that's more blue, and you can kind of see a shade difference for the purple. For the skiff bearings, to measure your bearings and your pivot, there's a spot for that. For the bit driver, if you pick up the bit driver, he made a spot for that. Now, these, you can do this, but me personally, I'm going to put my smaller drivers that I have here because I have this big driver that I got from Ron Crow that I want to put there. And I also have a Flytanium bit driver that I want to have there also, just to let you know that. Now, I have multiple things here. Let me see if I can. I'm just not quite sure where I want to put this to slick them all. I kind of like leaving in the plastic, so I may just end up putting that there. Now, I've got KPL knife pivot lube, and I got the Flytanium green slick. I use these occasionally, depending on what I'm doing. I just literally picked up this honey carbon graphene pivot lubricant, and it is thick. I mean, it's like honey. It kind of thickens up, and there's a ball in there for you to shake it up. You really do want to shake this up when you use it. It is thick. I mean, if you've ever done honey, literally, that's what it is like. It's like honey with a thickness. And I've used it on a couple of knives so far that I've taken apart and cleaned and done, and I really do like this. And I'm putting that there. This hole seems to be a little bit bigger and has a little bit more room. I don't know why it's like that, but it does. Now, you guys know I do paracord. I have these scissors. I like them. They have like little teeth. They cut through the cord really well. So that may end up going there, along with, do I have it handy? One of my knotting tools that I use. You can tell that it's gotten used quite a bit. But this actually, you can take it apart and you can fit a little bit of something, not much, inside of it. Like if I got a fit or whatever, I could put it in there, and to me it's more of a pain than anything, so I don't use it for that. But this is something that I do use frequently, whether I put it there, put it over here, or maybe it'll take the place of one of these. I don't know how well it'll balance in there. It's kind of because of being taller, but I'll probably just stick it over here. But the other big thing for this is, you know, I can toss my keys, my key rings in there, is the fact that I have a lot of T6 bits that I always have on hand. And here's my extra T8 bits. Besides, I've got that. I've got two of these Weehaw with, actually we got three. I think I got Brian has one too. Got this one that has just not necessarily the Torx bits that we need, because these are most of these are bigger ones, and it's not often I use this big of ones, but it has for other items that I need between the Phillips and the flathead. Well, mostly just Phillips, sorry. I forget what the square things are called, and the hexes and stuff like that. That is one that I keep handy. But then I also bought this. I'm sorry, I've got the, I don't know what I did with that other wrench. It's, oh, there it is. There's, I've been using it, so I guess I should probably put it back in there. But this one is their, basically their Torx bit setup that has the different variants, the IP versions, the T's, a lot of them, the ones with the holes, the safety feature, whatever you want to call it. This is the big set that I really like. But I have these on hand. I've got the little Boker Weehaw bit set that came with bits. I mean, I've got the Devo, their spinner, you know, that he released, the splatter pattern. I like this stuff. What can I say? But anyway, T6s I use a ton of. I mean, you know how easy, if you take apart your knives, you know how easy the T6s are to get jacked up. I mean, let's be honest here. Use them a few times and pretty much pitch them and get new ones, so that way they don't cause you issues. But T6, and here's my extra T8s that I keep on hand. Those are the two main ones that I go through a decent amount of, so I want to always have the extra T6s and T8s handy. I need to buy extras of probably, what is it, T9? Is it T9? T10? Maybe T7. I know some of my Spydercos takes an odd size besides the T8s and T10s and T6s. And I can't remember if it was a 7 or if it was a 9 that they sometimes use. But I don't use them as frequently, so me taking them out of one of my other deals isn't that big of a deal. Plus I have, this actually came in a case, and I put, and all of these right here are all more T6s. Right there's a T7, and I think this is T10 and up, maybe T9. T10. But T10 on up there, and plus the other ones that this kit came with, which is, I bought with this is from County Com. Like I said, it came in a little orange flip plastic case that closed. I don't use it with that, obviously, but that was part of another set that I got, because, I mean, you're always needing the different attachments as far as I'm concerned. But this leaves me some extra room. I can sit there and do my work on my thing here instead of on my mats, and maybe not mess my mats up so much. You know, I've got the waxes, and this one's a little bit softer. It needs you still have to kind of work it to use that. The Sasquatch wax is from USA Made Blades is what I really like. It's heavy with coconut oil, so it's real soft and spreads real easily, just to let you guys know. But I use all of it. I like my Nicky Knacks as much as I do my knives, if you want to be honest about it. And let's see here, right here. I don't know about you guys, but yes, I do occasionally need a pry bar for working some of the scales off if they're fighting you. Case in point, Spyderco with their lanyard tube. You know, half the time I get it all apart and move the pivot it on the lanyard tube and try to work it, and a lot of times a little bit of pressure, gently. You don't want to do too much because God forbid you mess something up. But it's something that comes in handy to have. I have multiple ones of those. My goodness, you guys, I've got, these are metal picks. Actually got them more for pew-pews. Whether you know it or not, silicone mats, if you have like those thin silicone mats, I cut off a little piece, a corner, for when you have free spinning pivots and the other one doesn't have a bit to be able to hold it. Sometimes me using this and pressing against it, it gives it enough traction where I can hold it and unscrew it the other way. Sometimes I still have to get Brian to help me with that, because sometimes they're just, some of them are a pain. I mean, that's a given. You know, have an eraser handy. I have this to help pop out pivots, and this is actually, believe it or not, what they call a metal toothpick that you can fold up and put inside and carry it. The thing is that I sat there and took a pair of my pliers with the wire cutters on it and snipped off the more pointy, easily bendable portion of it, and did that with both of these. And I have them, and that's what I use them for if I need help pushing something through and out, because it's not very thick. It is, but it isn't. You know, I mean, my other pry bar before I got this one for my son that I use for doing stuff. Push pin. Right there's a couple more of the toothpicks. And knife butter. Got a little sampler of the knife butter. You know, I wonder if that'll fit. Nope, that won't fit there. I thought I'd try. Have it on hand. That to me is very similar to the Slick 'Em All consistency wise. But I do like the applicator on this. I do have the plastic one on here. I don't have a metal one, but I honestly kind of like the plastic one because I can see the lubrication going down through it. Let's see here. Is there anything? Yeah, I like that knife butter enough to where I picked up another stick of it, and this does have the metal applicator on it. So, like I said, I have odds and ends. My Olight bit driver. Yeah, I have issues. You guys should know that by now. I also do have tweezers. It sometimes helps, but these are almost too tall for a lot of the stuff that I want to do. It can help every now and then. Here's my other pry bar that I actually need to swap out and put in my carry case that actually has like a little scalpel. It has a little flathead bit driver. It has the pry bar. It has a, not sharp as some of them are, but bottle opener. You got the Phillips head right there. You know, I mean, this actually, for what it is actually pretty friggin' good. I like it. Let me see if I can get that out. See, that's one thing I don't like about this, having that there. It's a pain to get that piece out. But it's magnetized in there. But there's where you can do it for the micro bits, which I have a set of micro bits floating around here somewhere. I'm trying to remember. Yes. And that does your 1/4 inch bits, which is to me the standard size bits that you can do. It doesn't hold it. You have to, I would say, put it in whatever you want to use, then do it, and then do it that way. That was one drawback I thought for that. But all in all, with the lightning ano and everything you got for emergency usage, this is a good little thing to have in your little carry-all. Just saying. I keep forgetting, like I said, to put it in there. And I also have some lead in there. not pew-pew lead, but actual pencil lead. In case you were wondering. But if you haven't checked it out, you may want to. I mean, I think this is a pretty good little setup to have done up for everything. One of my other setups that I had, and now let me pull it over here because I picked up that wasn't actually meant for this. I think it was meant for fly fishing setups, but you know, blue Loctite. Yes, I should put that over here too. You know, right here's my micro bit driver from NAFS. You know, it's one of those things. It's the other driver. You know, I've got oils, multiple oils, lighters, flashlight here. Actually, I need to check to make sure that that's, yep, it's still charged. You know, some extra wee-haw deals. I mean, I have entirely too much stuff, let's put it that way. But they come in handy. My extra springs from where I had one of my Vosteeds, the spring was broken in half and I had to get some extra springs, so I have a couple extra springs floating around. It's, yeah, a basic lighter to go along with my regular lighters. But this is, I'm trying to get rid of this. I think I like this setup a lot better than I do this one. This one may end up going in a giveaway in the future. Let me know if you guys think that would be something good that somebody may like to have to do. That, like I said, very well could end up in the giveaway. But, and of course, one of the presents I got from a member of the community has this driver, which I'm going to switch this out to blue. I think Brian may like this. Let me see if I can. Could be something to actually turn it with. There we go. These 3D printed things are so friggin' cool. I'm just telling you that makes me get really curious about getting a 3D printer. But this is something where, you know, you put your bit in there. Come on. Did I put it in the wrong way? There we go. That's actually pretty snug and tight, but you know, if you needed it to crank down, have something with a firmer grip, that works pretty good too. I mean, I really like this one that I got from Ron Crow, but this one seems like that knob type deal really does seem to be pretty awesome. But you can do red or blue. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.